Welcome to the Mother Daughter-ish podcast. It's your mama's favorite podcast.
And the podcast your daughter always wanted.
This is Miss Dawn.
And Angelique.
From the 713. Houston, y'all. Get connected and stay connected weekly as new shows debut on Sunday, Wednesday, and please check out our Saturday Out and About showcases.
Enjoy the show. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, and tell every woman on the planet that you know about our show.
Here's our show for today. Happy April the 27th, as we continue and end the month with our series on women's warnings from movies that we've seen or series. Today, we are going to talk about The Good Girls, and it's not called The Good Girls, it's just called Good Girls. I discovered this show actually on, I think it was the CW, no. Might have been NBC, I think it was on, Channel 2, back in the day, Channel 2. And that was a few years ago, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago. And I kind of thought it was just funny. And then I realized it was really good. What you think about Good Girls? When did you discover it and how?
I think my friend Emerald told me about it. And then I saw that it wasn't, I thought it was an actual Netflix original show, but I see that it's on NBC. But I liked it. I think I just didn't watch the last season that's out, but I like it. I like all the characters.
I originally thought they've gotten canceled, but then I saw it on Netflix because I couldn't find it nowhere.
Oh, yeah.
Right before they put it on Netflix, I couldn't find it nowhere. And then one day I was like, is that the same Good Girls that's over on regular TV? I don't have regular TV anymore. So, because they only showed one episode, one series, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 series, and then went over to Netflix. It was like it immediately went over to Netflix after the first season, and that's normally not how they do it. Normally, if they don't have a show for a long time, because during like the pandemic, a lot of shows weren't on, then they just make you wait. But this one went right to Netflix like after the first season, because I've watched season 2 and 3 and whatever. I've watched that all on Netflix.
Oh yeah. What's the last one that came out? The fourth? Is it fourth that's out? The last one?
Yeah, but I think they have another one that went off of NBC and will be on Netflix soon or in the next season. Maybe not this summer, because I don't think they do summer promoting it on Netflix or whatever. I think they may make us wait till the fall or winter or something like that, because I didn't see this one wasn't up until the winter. So I don't know how they do their schedule, but now I just know to kind of look out for it over there, because I thought I had lost my good show. You know, when I got rid of all the TV, regular TV, I was like, man, I lost one of my good shows. I really like that show. I think the characters are the ones who really brought me in. It was the women, especially the fact that they were so sneaky. I just liked that they were just so sneaky, and that their sisterhood was stronger than even their marriages, some of them, because they was hiding everything from their husbands.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, for me, it was the bank robbery. For me, it was the being so bold inside to do a bank robbery. That to me was funny. But then after you realize why they were doing what they were doing, because you know one of the lady's daughters needed surgery, really major surgery, and she didn't have the money, and her husband was just a police officer. And what a turn it has made now that it's in the season that it's in. Everybody on there, in my mind, is what I say. Everybody on there has lost their mind, pretty much.
Pretty much.
So we'll put a picture of them up there.
I'm trying to put my acting right now.
I know I turned on my computer, logged in, and then I came back and it was completely off. And I went, okay, the screensaver is on. No, it was off. But you know, my TV does that. I could be right in the middle of watching something, and then it'll go straight to the first page, and I have to log back in, and then go back to the show, and then but my TV was really doing that yesterday, and it was really annoying me.
Can you see it now? Is it popping up?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good picture of them.
Yeah.
Now, I do think, if I can recall right, and I want to tell the truth here, I think the girl in the middle really drew me in, but the one on the end, what's her name? I forgot her name.
The short hair one?
No, the other lady,
The
Rhea,
black lady?
Retta
Oh.
caught my attention because I had just finished watching a series about, it was called something about a divorce on it was on, oh, I saw it on Netflix too. Something about a divorce, and it was she was one of the best friends of the lady who ended up getting a divorce, and she was having a really, really hard time for it. Something about divorce. And I was
Mhm.
like, oh, I know that lady. She was the one that was the good friend of the lady who got the divorce on that show. And then the girl in the middle, I think she played on that show. It was one everybody loved. I never got into it. Good men or something, or Mad Men. She played
Yeah,
on Mad Men. Did you
I
ever
heard
hear
about
that
that.
show?
I heard about the show. That's probably where I thought she looked familiar, but I only really know the black lady on there.
Okay, yeah, that's the one that played in the divorce show and some other shows. So when I
Mhm.
saw Retta, I was like, I like her in the divorce movie, so I'm gonna watch this one. And then when I saw the one in the middle, people love her. They rave about her. They just bow down to her. I never watched Mad Men, so I didn't know why. So, I mean, so
Mhm.
I don't know why. But I thought, okay, well, let me give this movie a chance. Now, the sister, the little short one, I don't know her.
I don't know her either, but now we do. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, I don't
she
know her,
probably
so
been
I
on
can't.
little stuff that we don't know.
Right. So I can't tell you, anything about her movie character. We're just talking movie character here because we don't know these people. But when I saw Retta and then the other lady, I was in because I said, okay, this gonna be, if not good, it's gonna be at least funny. But I think for me, it's the friendship. It's the somebody comes up with an idea, the other one throws it down, and then somebody goes, well, wait a minute, we could do it this way. It's like, but y'all just talking about how y'all gonna bury somebody. Like, is there a
Mm.
right or a wrong way to bury somebody? Like, can y'all really break that down? So they are, if nothing else, funny. Now, I'm gonna tell you, I do think this show is a little spicy too, because you got the husband cheating on the wife, you got the wife getting revenge and cheating on the husband with the guy who's probably gonna end up killing them all. He probably gonna end up killing them all. And then the fact that still on it, she keeps going, I'm over here talking to you, and Suri is over here trying to talk to me. So I'm gonna shut her down. Like, she gonna tell me she's still on it. I ain't even asked her to be on anything. Your phone ever do that?
No, she only responds when I say, "Hey Siri."
Oh, and see, I never say, hey, Siri. So I think what happens is that our phones will respond to us after they see how we respond to it. I have never in my life said, hey, Siri, anything. I always say,
Mm.
like directions to, and then I'll say the place. And then she'll say, okay, here's what I found. I never had said, hey, Siri. Let me see if I say it now. Will she respond? Hey, Siri.
Hi, I'm Siri. How can I help you?
She probably say somebody stole her phone because she don't never say it. I've never said that to her. But I was looking at somebody else doing their show, and they said something, and their Alexa thing started giving them like a whole paragraph about what they were talking about. Like,
Oh.
start trying to like give them a sentence of what they were talking about because they were explaining something. And she was like, no, actually it's like this. And I was like, that's weird. I don't have one of those things. Anyway.
I think somewhere in your settings you can turn your microphone off, because that's how when we talking to our friends and stuff and talk about a food place and it pops up on social medias because your mic is on in your settings.
Yep, it does that. And it's like I was saying, I was watching something about a book the other day, and I was going to get ready to pick up my phone and look for the book. But by the time I got to the phone and went to where I was going to type in the book, it was already there. I was like,
Hmm.
it's a book called what does it say? It describes everything about you according to your birthday and date. So I was like, something about the extraordinary information about your birth date or something. It was already in there. So I was like, okay, I'll take a screenshot. Now I know what book I need to order when I get it. But anyway, back to these characters. It's really got all the good elements. Like I say, it's funny. You got some mischievous stuff going on. You got some cheating going on. You got some what happens after you cheat and you make up. So you got some makeup, some marriage makeup stuff. You got some deceit because Retta
I did, yeah.
yeah, she was kind of lying to her husband the whole time, and he is the sweetest guy. It's like he'll do anything for her, even if it's illegal. And he's a police officer, so all he wants is just his wife to be happy and his kids to obey, and he want to eat food when he get home. Like, he is such a good guy, but she got him doing all kind of stuff this last
Oh yeah,
season.
because they have a sick daughter. So it's like they all have different stuff going on in their lives where something like this just happens, to help them, but it come with
Yeah,
a lot of mess.
it's a lot of mess, but the funny thing about this mess as it pertains to like in comparison to when we did Sweet Magnolia, I
Mhm.
think the mess that's the difference in here is that your mind almost tricks you and say, yeah, but we know why she's doing that because her daughter is sick and they don't have the money. Well, yeah, we know why she cheated on her husband because he cheated on her with the lady at work first. Well, yeah, we know why the little sister does what she does because her guy that she was with, that she have a son with, he chose some other woman over her when he was really supposed to marry her. But now that he's not sure he wants to get married, he's coming back into her life, like, give me advice, even after he's
Yeah.
done. So you almost have this thing like, well, I see why they do what they do. So I really want to give them a pass on everything they do.
Yeah, because if you put yourself in that situation and something like this pops up, I mean, you might want to, it kind of makes you think, what would you do if you were in both of their all the situations?
Exactly. And oh, I forgot to tell you what I really like about the show is I forgot his name, but the drug dealer guy that the one in the middle is so crazy about, and
Yeah.
that
I
he
forgot his
played
name.
on another movie that I had watched a year before. It was a movie that was based out of New York, and it was about these aliens that like came up from the underground and like was possessing people and stuff.
Mm.
Oh my goodness, that movie was so good. It was on at least 3 seasons, and it had some elements of vampirism in it. People drinking blood and living. It was so good, and it was based out of New York. And him and the main character on there, man, they was kicking butts left and right. So he's kind of like my hero in some of the movies. So when I see him playing this little slimy guy here, I'm like, he just a teddy bear. He ain't gonna hurt nobody. But then when I see the stuff he does, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
this is a different
He
character.
playing his role pretty good.
He's playing his role really good. But the scary thing to me is I really think him and the lady have a connection. I really think I
That'd
don't think she's
probably be the
gonna
only thing
leave
that
him
keeps them
alone.
alive.
Yeah, but that's scary because he also will kill them. Look what he did. He took all the furniture out of her house.
Yeah, but he ain't ever physically harmed them or made them feel like he would do that towards them. To me, at least from what I've seen so far.
Well, he
I don't
threatened
think
her a
he'll
few
go there.
times.
That's about
I
it. You
don't.
can do that all you want. You ain't gonna do
I
that.
think he's in love. I think he's in love with her.
Yeah, so it might be hard for him to be who he's supposed to be. Like he probably would have killed him a long time ago if he wasn't attracted to the girl.
Yeah, and I saw something on a preview for something where his brother called him out and said, "Man, you in love with that woman. Man, she got you. She got you." And he didn't deny it. So I was like, maybe that's their saving grace
Mm-hmm.
because he's no little guy. They really, really, really deal with big time dope dealers. So he's no little guy. He's like the guy that you really don't fool with. And I think if he wasn't attracted to her, I just feel bad that she's doing certain things still and her husband don't know. At this
Oh
point,
yeah.
I really almost, this is crazy to say. At this point, I really almost don't care because I don't know if I really trust her husband anymore because he seemed
The
to
girl on the right's husband.
the one in the middle. I don't really
Oh.
trust her husband anymore because he almost seems like he's
Oh yeah.
defeated. Yeah, he has that like I'm defeated attitude. Like
Ain't no telling what
you
he'll
know,
do then.
well, it's like he don't know how to get up and make himself more successful again. And every time he get a little oomph in him to do something, it's because his wife pushed him, or she set it up properly, or she had to go out and get the deals done, or she had to, help him start his whirlpool company again. It's like
Yeah.
maybe that's why she also cheated on him because she don't respect him anymore as a man.
Yeah.
I guess my only warning for this show is if you got all of these things going on, but you got girlfriends that you can bounce these things off of, and you know that nothing's going to get back. Because, like in this last season, the test was proven who these girls care about
Oh
more.
yeah. Yeah.
And it's each other, it's not even their husbands.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're looking at that rule of my girlfriends are going to always be here, but I could always get another husband. I've heard people say that. I don't know if I agree with that, but what I'm saying is they proved it on this last one because she was like, "Oh, you have to be friends with my friends, or it's just not going to be good for us because every time I leave the house and I go be with my friend, I don't want you tripping about it."
Yeah.
But then Retta's husband can't stand the one in the middle so much that he just don't know what to do with himself. He can't stand her. Like he's like, "You're the reason me and my family are in this issue." I will say on this last one, I didn't like that they did this little time warp where they went into the future of what the future could look like if they got away from all of this. I didn't like that because it tried to make them seem like they were so perfect, and they ain't perfect. They got little mischief in them. They want to self-destruct. They like they like, now that they've seen how much money they can really make and not get busted, it's like, what else are we gonna do here? Like, are you
Exactly.
serious?
Yeah.
They're not gonna keep turning no money down. It's like none of them are gonna go out and get a 9-to-5 job, which is what they tried to show in the future. And it was like, yeah, that's a lie. That's not gonna happen.
Didn't it start off with them robbing a grocery store that the
It
girl worked at?
started off with the shenanigans. They robbed the grocery store because they needed the money for some kind of $90,000 or $100,000 surgery the daughter needed. So they were like, "Well, we just have to figure out how to get," and it was always the one in the middle. We just have to figure out how to get the money.
Yeah, she was more of the brains.
Because the little short girl worked at the grocery store, so she knows the manager's pattern. She knows where the safe is. She knows all the little tricks of the trade. So they robbed the grocery store, and then the mischief, kind of ensued from there. They've robbed the grocery store. They've sold drugs on the side. They, did a drop to Canada. They've, printed fake money.
Yeah.
At her job at a printing press, and then they stole the machine so they could print it all by themselves. They've buried somebody, made sure somebody got taken out and buried them. They hide bodies. The one, like I say, the one in the middle is cheating on her husband. The one on the little sister on the end, she got a couple of dudes she cheating on. But I mean, she's single, so I guess she's not cheating because she's single.
Messing around with it.
They've got the dope dealer coming to the main girl house in the middle. It's like, you can't ever get away from this guy because he knows where all your friends live. He knows where you live. He knows where your husband works at. He's been all to his job. He knows everything about you. So even if she tried to hide her identity and move to another state because she has kids, he's going to always find her.
That's true, yeah.
Because those kids are going to be on social media. Those kids are going to have friends. She's not going to be able to change everybody's name. He's going to always find her. I knew that I thought she'd been using him at first just to have like an affair and, get it over with because her husband did it. But now I feel like she's using him because she knows he's not going to tell that they're having an affair.
Yeah.
And she knows that he's showing her how to make money, even though she's in debt to him. So I don't know what's going to happen with the husband because he's suspicious again. And I think this is nosy. Yeah, but I think this is going to break his heart more because he's not cheating anymore. But then also he's not being a man in his house. So yeah. I think maybe that's a turn off for her that he's not really being a man. But I like the show. I hope it continues on, even on Netflix. I don't get to watch it on regular TV, but I hope it continues. But it's so funny how I could think of 3 shows right now that I used to watch on NBC that are now on Netflix. Good Girls is one. The Blacklist is 2. And no, that was on CW. Rain was on CW. But there's another show that's still continuing. So I'm so glad that these shows, once they either add another station they're on or they leave a station and go to another station, I'm so glad that they can now have a home at Netflix. And yeah, I see some crazy stuff is going on with Netflix.
Yeah, they're losing a lot of subscribers, and they're moving over to HBO and Hulu.
Really?
They lost it said Netflix lost like 200K subscribers in Hulu.
But you know why, right?
Well, they're cracking down on password sharing and they're going up on their prices. To me, that's
That's
all I'm
not
not.
only the reason. That's not only the reason Netflix pulled out of the Ukraine.
Oh, well.
They pulled out. They pulled out of there and stopped their whole subscription services there. So
Oh, I
that
did
means
read about that. Yeah, yeah. That was last week. I read about that, I think.
so you can imagine if Netflix pulls out of Mexico or pulls out of Australia, pulls out all these places. That means that when you pull out of a country, you lose everything from that country. Look, I heard that and that made me call T-Mobile because you know my Netflix is free through T-Mobile. Well,
Oh,
let me
yeah.
say free through T-Mobile because it's not. So with T-Mobile, I called the guy and I said, "Hey, I just want to check on my subscription to Netflix that you guys gave me." Now, originally when I signed up, y'all said it was free. I said, "I know nothing in life is free, so there's some taxes or something I'm paying on it." He said, "Ma'am," he said, "I'm just like you with my T-Mobile service. I got that same email that same text message you got a week ago about
Mhm.
Netflix prices going up." I say, "Well, I'm not just concerned about that text message." I said, "That's the third one I've received in less than 18 months that they're going up on their prices." So he
Mm,
said, "Well, let me check your bill for you." He said, "Well, ma'am, you're only paying $3 and we're paying 19 for you." And I said, "Are you sure?"
19.
Because they put me in a plan where you can have more than one person
Watch it at the same time.
watch it at the same time. Or if I had two houses, I could have it at, one
Oh,
here in
okay.
Houston
Well,
and
that's
one here
still
in
not
another
bad.
house somewhere. And then they said, I think I can have four people. He said, "So if you want to go down to the basic one," he said, "but let me warn you, they've said that if people go down to the basic one where you can only be logged in one person at a time, they're also getting ready to start adding commercials to that." I said, "No, that's why I
I
left."
heard about that too.
I told him, I said, "No, sir, that's why I left regular TV because I don't want to see commercials on
That's why I
regular
like
TV."
Tubi TV. It's free and they got all the stuff on there.
When the last time you watched Tubi TV?
Probably a couple days ago.
They say Cardi B's thing is on there.
Show on there. I'm not surprised. Everything free and
I
everything.
am shocked that she would be on Tubi TV and not HBO or something.
But
Like they
Tubi
said, Nicki
TV,
Minaj thing was coming out. It was going to be on HBO, but I haven't heard nothing else about it.
I like Tubi TV more than Netflix. I like Tubi TV just as good as I like Hulu and HBO. They got a lot of good movies and shows. Like, for an example, Bad Girls Club, they got all the seasons from 1 to 17. Hulu only put like 2, 5, and 7 on there.
2, 5, and 7, they didn't put them in a row.
They didn't even put all the seasons or all the good ones, but Tubi TV got good stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, why would her show be on Tubi TV when it was supposed to be on something premium?
And
But
soon
yeah,
enough,
so
they're
he
probably
said,
gonna charge. Tubi TV been free since 2009 or
yeah.
earlier.
So I'm glad to know I'm only paying $3 a month for my Netflix now. They say you only get that deal if you have one or more, if you have two or more lines. Since I have 3 lines, I guess I qualify for it. Because I was like, I tell other people about the free Netflix on T-Mobile. He said if they only have one line, they don't get it free. But if they have
Mm.
more, so then I had to ask my other question. I said, Sprint was acquired by T-Mobile and they used to get free Hulu. Do we now also get free Hulu? He said no. He said, as a matter of fact, the only people that are still getting that free Hulu are the Sprint people who came over to them. But he said most of them have gotten rid of the Hulu and then now are getting the Netflix. So I was like, okay, I was just trying to make sure. I said, because if you guys go up too much over the $3 to maybe $5 or so, I'll get rid of Netflix too. I told the guy, I said, because I don't have to have it. I don't have to have it. I
Yeah.
enjoy it, but I don't have to have it. Because what I noticed, I was talking to somebody the other day and they say they have HBO, Paramount Plus, Hulu, Netflix, and some other new streaming network that they're paying $7.99 a month for. And they were thinking about getting Showtime. And they said, if I get Showtime, then I'm pretty much paying almost what I was paying for cable when
Yeah, because
when they
Showtime
had.
is about $10 to
Yep,
$14, and
yep.
HBO Max is already 15. So
So
that's
they
30 with
said
just
they
those
did the
two.
little free thing because I told them that Showtime had a 3-month free Showtime thing. So they did that and they went through all the shows and they said, "You're right. I don't really see anything that I just have to watch."
Mm-hmm.
So, but right now that person is paying almost $100 and something just for all of the streaming stuff. And then they went ahead and paid the extra thing for YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
The YouTube movie thing, because there's some stuff on there that they actually want to watch, like people uploading their movies and stuff to YouTube, but you got to pay for it. So I'm just
Yeah.
like, if that's gonna be the name of the game, how do they cure that? Because at some point people are gonna say, okay, I only want 2 to 3 stations, that's it. I'm not gonna pay all this, because if that's the case, I
And now
mean,
they're
you
trying
might
to
as
do the
well.
bundles. That you
What
only
kind of,
really
oh,
save, you only really save like maybe $3 at the most, but how they do
what's the
like
best
Disney.
bundle you seen?
I don't know, because I don't know. I mean, for me, I had Hulu, Stars, and HBO, and that was like 33 a month.
So $10. So that's still $10 each though. Remember when Netflix first came out, it was $5 or something like that, $5
Yeah, it was
a
like
month.
$4.99. Just like
Yeah.
Zeus right now. Zeus is $3.99, but they starting to get more popular, so they might go up
Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute.
eventually.
I
Eventually.
thought Zeus was free.
Zeus was never free. It was like $3.99. I've had it for like 4
I
years.
didn't know people were paying for that. I thought it was like Tubi.
Nah. It's like, yeah, it's three. I've had it for like 4 years.
You like them?
I like some stuff on there. Some other stuff is like I see why it's on Zeus and no other network, but some of the stuff is good.
Do they have commercials?
No. And Tubi
No,
TV has commercials, but they're
Zeus was
very
free.
short. No, it was never
Yeah,
free.
I hear a lot of people saying that they were gonna, get Zeus, get the app, get the app. But I thought they were saying like they were getting the app for free. I did not know they were paying for that. So the only one that's free really is Tubi.
Yeah.
But then Tubi don't have no new stuff, right?
I don't think
Like
about. I mean, like they got a good selection of movies. They got like a lot of throwback TV shows that you might want to revisit and watch. New stuff, I don't think so.
Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. Huh, it's really. No, I didn't know Zeus had a cost. I saw an interview.
But I'm not gonna be
with-
surprised if they catch on because Tubi is getting pretty popular. I hope they don't start charging because it's been too many years they've been free.
Wow. Yeah, but if you think about it, if you got, let's just say you got all your favorite ones, because I'm sure there's some you don't have that you would like to have. I mean, your bill every month would be $100.
I think 30 is the most I probably pay.
And then all of these people who they just have to have Disney say they finna go up because they finna have a kid
Disney
version.
was $12.99. I think it might be close to $14.99 now. But then like my friend, her sister, she has a son and he watches this show called Bluey on Disney Plus. They only have 2 seasons on there. I'm not sure which package she has, but that show has 7 seasons and they only put 2 on Bluey. And I'm like, what are you paying $12.99 for? You're not gonna put all the seasons on there. That's like us watching this show, Good Girls, on Netflix, and they only put a couple episodes or just 1 season. Like
They did that. They did that when they first put them on there. They started with season 1, and then they waited a few months, and then they put 2, and then they waited a few months. And what I felt like they were doing is they were catching up to what was the current season on TV, so that by the time that current season was over, then they would have called up to that and then made you wait whatever the time was for the next one to come on, because they didn't put all of them up there. But with Blacklist they did, which is my favorite show with David Spader. I mean with David, I forgot his name. I was glad that they put all of those up there, but it's still running on NBC. I think they like on season 9 right now. But last time I saw 8, I was like, I don't know how long I'm gonna have to wait to see 9, probably 6 months or something. I'm not sure. I always know when it's on because Layala husband, we both love that show, and he'll always tell her to tell me, tell Dawn, season whatever is gone off, look for it on Netflix. And I'm like, okay, because they got regular TV. So
yeah,
I think they still have cable or something. And so with cable, you get the regular TV show. So, but if I had to give Good Girls from a 1 to a 10, I would definitely give them a 10 because it gives you all the elements of everything that you need. I don't know how they came up with putting these 3 characters together, but it was a good deal.
Oh yeah,
It was really, really, really good deal. I think for the young adults, they may like it because they bring in the LGBTQIA sector in there. They bring in a lot of conversation about that because the young sister, her son is LGBTQIA whatever. As a matter of fact, at first I never knew he was her son. I didn't know if that was her daughter or her son. So I never addressed if it was a girl or boy because I didn't know. It wasn't until they started having conversations about what was going on with him that I was like, oh, okay, so that's her son, even though he may identify as both or something, like I'm not, as both or whatever. But I like that they brought that in just as a conversation because they don't really show the other 2 girls, ladies, kids a whole lot.
Yeah.
show them enough to let you know, hey, these ladies are moms. They got all this going on, but they're moms. So I do say though that they have, when they come up with a plan or a hustle, it'd be good. It's really, really good. It's a good one. Like this last season where they trying to sell those designer purses, the fake designer purses. They were smart. They was like, where we gonna sell these designer purses? Wait a minute. All the women at our kids' private schools, they all rich. They all wear designer. We'll have purse parties. And it worked out good.
Yeah.
Well, until one of them got a big mouth and cussed out one of the moms and said, you need to check your fake person. And then all the women hate them from there. But the only other warning I would give for this show that you can learn from these women is, man, they know how to keep a secret.
Yeah. Keep it
I
between.
ain't never seen no women know how to keep a secret as good as they do between the women. I mean, don't be no pillow talk with the husbands until they get to the point where they just like, I just got to tell him because we in trouble now, or I got to tell him because I'm probably gonna go to prison and he gonna have to come get me. Until it gets that bad, they don't tell nobody. Like the one in the middle, she never told her husband until the guy that she was in trouble with, until he showed up at the house.
Yeah.
And was like, I'll tell your husband right now that I've been getting you. And then she was just like, but they know, these ladies right here, they know how to keep a secret between the three of them. They be doing shenanigans. They got the perfect alibi. I'm going to so-and-so's house. We just gonna hang out. They got the perfect alibi and they don't even be at that person's house. They be out robbing banks and robbing stores and stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So it's crazy. And I mean, they have had access to millions and millions of dollars because they got the printing machine to make it. I still haven't figured out, when they give the dude all the money, what is he doing with the money? Is he buying more drugs with the money? Is he what is he doing?
Probably he paying for something he don't want to pay for in real cash, probably drugs.
I know, but then he also has them washing money through the company to get the real money. So I want to know
washing the money he's making from the drugs, but paying for the drugs and fake money. Who knows?
Right, but we don't know who his boss is.
I'm sure. Is it over like the show? Is the show completely over, or they?
No, we're waiting on the next season. The next season already played out on NBC, so I'm just waiting on it to come over here because the other one we just finished. I just finished it 3-4 months ago. So the other one should be coming up. But I think where I'm going with this is I want to know who his boss is.
Yeah, I think it'll get to that point when stuff really.
And you know who I think his boss is?
Who?
I think it's his grandma. Remember on this season when he took her to go meet his family? And
I've seen the last one.
Okay, and his grandma was kind of like what's that lady name you like? The dope dealer. Them Queen of the South type people, Griselda, all these people that you like to watch on them Narcos and stuff movies.
Griselda.
Yes, I think his grandma is kind of like that. The reason I say that is because he took her to meet his grandma, and the grandma kind of sized her up in a manner of, I know you got something going on, my grandson, but sized her up like, oh, perfect lady, perfect suburban redhead lady to do our job for us where we won't get in trouble. So I feel like his boss is his grandma.
Maybe.
It just felt like it. I was like, she's the kingpin. She's the dope, person. Grandma didn't look innocent. She looked suspicious. Like, I bet she the one. It was kind of strange. Yeah, that one is really, really, really good. But to wrap it up, this show is really good. It's fun. It's funny. It keeps you wondering, what are they gonna get into next? Like, that's what I'm waiting for the next season. Like, everything that I've named that they've done, what could they possibly do now? What could they do? Well, I mean, somebody's husband come up missing. What could they do? And then what made me just look sideways is the little sister. Her ex is supposed to be getting married, and he's over at her house on the day. Yeah. I was like, what? And then it messed up the son a little bit because he walked in and was like, what is going on? Like,
He be going over to his daddy house and seeing his stepmama, but then when he come home, yeah.
You're like, yeah, well, my dad was at our house last. They're like, no, you can't. And kids, they will tell. These kids, they will tell. So I would be scared that he's gonna tell the wife. But I guess she could say to her, and I don't know if the future wife would believe him, but like nothing went on, nothing happened. He came over just because he's unsure. Like nothing, I'm did not messing around with him. And she's not, but I think it may go that route. I think it might go that route because he's so unsure about marrying this rich lady because she's so trying to do that fake perfect thing. So I
Mhm.
think he's not sure about her, whereas he's comfortable with the little sister because she's just down to earth, just regular girl. She's the girl next door type of girl. And he chose to be with some rich lady. So it's like, go over there with your rich lady then, which I guess is a good thing because she can keep her son in private school and he paid the lady pays for it. So it's like, I don't really want him back, but whatever for the kids.
Yeah.
Anything else that you picked up on Good Girls? I like the title too, because they are nowhere good girls. They may used to be, but they ruined that title on season 1.
I like that they picked the right trio, the right amount of people that we don't really see in often like shows and movies and stuff. But I like how like the situations are very relatable and it's pretty funny. The show, it's not just all serious drug money stuff. It's actually funny.
That's the part that brings in the fun part, is that they have these perfect little suburban homes. They got these really nice husbands. They got the girl has the really nice son. They just minding their own business and doing their own thing. And then boom, this element of, yeah, but did you know?
Hmm.
And also I like that they don't fraternize with the other neighbors and stuff and make friends, because once you fraternize with the neighbors and make friends, then they want to come and be in your house. Then they start looking around like, how you get all of this? And she always have money and stuff laying around. The one in the middle, she always got money and stuff laying around. It's like people start asking questions. So I like that it's just between the three of them, and that they haven't started fraternizing with neighbors and stuff that could be nosy and be in their business. I'm pretty sure the neighbors have captured on their camera when the other dude shows up there and she's like touching on him and stuff in the driveway, and they're out sitting in the park, touching each other and kissing and going on. I'm pretty sure somebody's camera has picked that up by now, but they must not go back and watch their footage because no neighbor has tried to blackmail her yet. So there's been a few people that have tried to blackmail them, but they ended up buried. So it's pretty funny. But now I kind of actually, when I started watching this show, I said I kind of wish I had actually gotten into the whole rave about Mad Men. I wish I had gotten into it because they talked about the guy that was the main character in there because he was so handsome and everything, but they talked about her even more than him.
Hmm.
I mean, they thought she was so sexy and her character was so awesome. In real life, she had a baby and wouldn't tell nobody who the father is. I mean, even today, nobody knows who's the father of her kid. And so they've had all these speculations on her real life, but that's not what drew me in. What drew me in is they said she was such a good character on Mad Men. And I never did watch. I didn't get into it. It was, it wasn't for me to watch it, but I still found it interesting. So that's what drew me in. I'm not sure if characters were different people that I would have gotten into it. Again, I had just finished watching the divorce show on Netflix or something like. No, it was actually on one of the cable stations on E, I think, and now it's over on Netflix. I had known about the one in the middle from Mad Men, and she got such rave reviews. I was willing to give her a chance. I think I was on season 2 before I realized the two on the end were sisters. It wasn't until they started doing the flashback of the stuff that they went through when they were younger that I was like, oh, that's her sister. Like I thought she was just another friend. I didn't know that was her sister because they don't say sister, or they don't say, hey, let's tell mom, or they don't talk like sisters. So I didn't know they were sisters. But I didn't know that until episode 2, season 2, when they did a little flashback. What do you think about some of these movies that do flashbacks? Do you get confused?
Not really.
I only get
I just
confused
watched Batman the other day for the first time, and
I
they
thought you
was
wasn't into
showing
it.
like half of the movie. I'm not, but somebody had me watch it because of how they explained it. But It happened to be really good, but I think like it was an hour in and they didn't even show the backstory of one of the superheroes or something. I'm like, I don't know nothing about him. But they waited until like the movie was like 3 hours long. They waited until like an hour or some in to
Hours.
yeah, it was like 2 hours and 44 minutes.
The only time
That's
I don't
why I
like
don't watch
the
those movies.
backstory is if they do too much of the backstory where I don't know if I'm in the current or the past.
Mhm.
Sometimes the backstory actually can confuse you because you're just like, for me, when they do a backstory and I can't tell who the characters are, like, is this that girl or that girl? Like, it makes confusing. So sometimes I'd be wishing when they do the backstory that they put the name of the character down at the bottom. So we'll know they're talking about Shelly and Nicole. So that when they go back to the future story, I know that was Shelly and Nicole. Like, I don't know who you're talking about, especially if I don't know the characters at all. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a Batman show. Maybe when Josh and Savon was little, maybe we went to see I don't recall it. So I don't really know the backstory. I know the jokes. I know from being a kid, I know the characters as little figurines or whatever. But I think if I would have watched Batman, first of all, I'm not going to watch a 3 hour movie, so that's out anyway. But if I was to watch a movie like a Batman, I need you to up front kind of give me some backstory and then give me the movie, because you're saying they waited to almost the end. I wouldn't have been
At
able
the
to follow.
end, it was still the beginning because it was 3 hours, but about an hour in, I'm seeing him do all this stuff and I don't know nothing about him or why he is the way he is.
Now, is this the Batman where the boy from Twilight played him?
No. This is the one that came out like last week. No. This is the one that came out like 2000, like early 2000s.
Oh, the reason why I asked that question is because Peyton did go see the Batman. And I asked her, I said, but you've never seen the other one. She said the one that she saw last month, she said, you didn't need to know about the other stuff to know the way they did this one, because it's like they did like a new birthing of a Batman. So it's like with Rob Pattinson or whatever. So she said, even though she never seen any of the Batman movies, she wasn't confused because of the way they did it. So that's what I thought you were talking about. And this one was 3 hours long too at the movie theater. I was like, no, I no, I don't even like the Marvel characters well enough to watch a 3 hour movie. So I'm definitely not gonna watch Batman. And then what made me mad is that from growing up, I always knew about Batman and Robin. So I asked her, I go, well, you say the Batman, but you didn't mention Robin. She said Robin wasn't in it. There is no Batman without.
This one movie I watched, Robin used to be a police officer in the city or something and began to be Robin. I don't know. I seen also Ben Affleck was Batman on one of them.
Oh yeah, a long time ago. Yeah. I mean, the best one was Michael Keaton, but that was 100 years ago. But so they did a movie on Robin?
No, I said Robin used to be a police officer in the Batman movie that I watched. It shows like how Robin and Batman even came together.
So maybe they're getting away from Robin or something, but there is no Batman to me without Robin, because I grew up where there was Batman and Robin. So I don't know what the new storyline is supposed to be about, but I'm still mad because I haven't seen 007, a Great Day to Live or whatever. I'm still mad about that, because by the time that one comes on, whatever it's going to come on Netflix or Hulu, by the time that comes on there, they'll already have chosen probably a new 007. And if they don't choose the right one, I'm out. And I've been looking at the franchise. I've seen all of the Batmans. I mean, all of the 007 since the 60s, all the way back when Sean Connery played him. So if they don't choose the right they don't choose the right 007, I guess I'm out the franchise. 007 just has to be a certain guy. They want the guy from Bridgerton to play him, but no, he's too young. He's too young. I don't. He's a good-looking guy, handsome, tall, slim, would look great in a suit, but he's too young. Now, if they come in and they try to tell me that he was James Bond's son, because you know James Bond had a woman on every continent. He had many women on every continent. If you tell me he's James Bond's long lost son and that he had been training to be in MI6 all this time, you might catch my attention. But if you just try to play this movie and you try to pretend like he's too young. We need somebody that's 55 or older to play James Bond, because James Bond character is in his 60s, just pretty much. So we need an older man. I don't care what race he is. I don't care anything about that. He just has to be like super handsome, tall, can do all those action tricks, and he needs to be of age. Did you ever watch any of the James Bond stuff?
Nope,
Oh, so you don't even care.
not really.
It's kind of like me with
I
Batman.
don't watch action stuff like that. Not that much.
Oh, you don't like action movies?
I don't watch it that much. It's
So
not that
you
I
haven't
don't like
seen
it,
any
I
of the
just-
Tom Cruise. You don't watch none of Tom Cruise stuff then, huh?
I've probably seen 1 or 2 Mission Impossible, but that's about it.
I was just about to say, if you didn't see Mission Impossible, especially the one with Cameron Diaz was in it, that's my favorite one. I guess because I like Cameron Diaz, but that was a good one. He's had a lot of other characters that I've liked, and I think he's supposed to, either he did another one last year or he's supposed to be doing another one. I don't know. But I do like the Mission Impossible stuff. It's almost kind of James Bondish, but all those stunts that he does on his own, I don't know if he'll be able to come back, and I don't know. I'm not sure. Well, that's our series concluding about Good Girls. We will have other topics for you in May. We're done with our series and just so happened, like I told you in the beginning, all of the shows that we talked about, they just so happen to be on Netflix. Now, if you have regular TV, you can absolutely watch Good Girls on NBC. You can watch some of the other shows on CW and other channels, but a lot of them, like we said, have converted over to Netflix, even during their popular time of being on TV. But that's our discussion, and that's our end of the month on women's warnings. And again, whenever I watch these movies, I get something out of them. If I'm not getting nothing out of them, I probably won't watch them. Like, I can't imagine what I would get out of Batman.
And then I thought Batman was like, I wouldn't say out here killing people, but the most he's doing is fighting and knocking people out. But
Other criminals or regular people?
like other criminals and stuff.
Now, I think also the reason Peyton and Savon went to go see this last Batman, they didn't go together, but they both saw it twice. I don't know. Because Zendaya was Catwoman or something.
Zoe Kravitz.
Zoe Kravitz was, yeah, and they like her.
It's the new one that just came out the other week. I'm supposed to be watching that pretty soon because I fell asleep on it. It's like that one's almost closer to 3 hours.
Again, Savon went to the movies twice with somebody to see him, and Peyton went with friends twice to see that movie. And I'm like,
oh, he did that with Spider-Man too. He went and saw it like
he liked Spider-Man. Yeah, he like. I haven't seen anything with Spider. Now, is Peter Parker still Tobey Maguire?
I don't think so.
I haven't seen the other Spider, but he said it was really, really good, and he liked it. And I was like, okay. I mean,
The game is even better. Here at my friend's house, she has a VR thing, and it's a
oh,
Spider-Man
the
game.
Oculus, the thing that you put on your eyes.
Yeah, but it's the real deal. It's the one that has the strap for the headrest. It has a forehead shield. It has speakers that go in your ears. It's the one that's $700.
You used it?
Yeah, I used it last night. It has its own little black box to it, like a PlayStation. It's no joke.
What'd you watch?
I did the Spider-Man game. I did like you have to like I guess use his little webs to attach onto buildings and stuff. And I'd be like in the living room or whatever, and it feels like I'm literally like on the building. It's crazy because I feel like I'm gonna fall off. And it kind of makes you dizzy if you're not
So
used
you'll
to it.
definitely be building you a house and buying you some land in the metaverse, huh?
I didn't say that because I thought about that too. Like
Mhm.
I could see how it's addicting because it was about 3 hours we was on. Well, I ain't gonna lie, her son has like 27 to 30 different games, so we've been just running through them. But they it's I can see how people can get caught up in the metaverse. I can see like
Can
how
you connect it to
if
your TV and watch a movie?
what do you
Like
mean?
with a cord? Can you connect a HD cord or something and watch a movie?
Well, the
through it?
VR thing, how it works, like if someone watches me while I'm on the VR, you'll see on the TV what I'm doing. If
But
that
can
makes
you watch a movie from the TV with those on?
No. It's just
What
like
about if you?
when you have a VR system, you have to go to the game store and get games that are accessible for
I know, but you
VR.
know, they have the one, I've seen somebody with it connected to their computer while they were watching a movie, and they literally said they felt like they were in the movie.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh, okay. So this one is just for games.
Yeah.
I don't know. It reminds me back when I was a kid, probably 10 years old or younger. They used to have this little red thing that you would put, and I bought y'all one when y'all were little. You put it on your eyes, and then you put the little you put the little
I know
disc
what you're talking
thing,
about. Yeah.
and then you click it on the side, and it would bring pictures. And I was like, this is exactly what it is, only it's more digitized.
Oh yeah.
It's the same thing.
Hmm.
All the LED lights and stuff. It was just like my light bright. I had a light bright when I was a kid. So all of this stuff is just advancing. Do you remember when I was watching on your channel? Which station was I watching the Jetsons on?
It was on HBO Max.
Oh, okay. I wanted to do a
But they didn't have all the seasons on there or episodes.
they had
So
they had all the seasons on there. It ended. There were no more episodes. It ended.
mhm.
I wanted to do a whole breakdown on everything that was on the Jetsons that we see right now today in life. And I want to go back and watch it. I don't have HBO, but I want to go back and watch it because when I was a kid, I wasn't into the Jetsons. The reason I wasn't into the Jetsons is because it wasn't believable. I mean, yes, we see all that stuff now, but it wasn't believable to think that when I was, 5 or 6 years old, that we'd be thinking about flying cars, and we'd be thinking about Surrey, and we'd be thinking about body contouring, and all the stuff that I saw on there, it's like not even believable. Robot vacuum cleaners, which we know we have now. So all of that stuff to me, it wasn't believable. So I never watched one episode of the Jetsons when I was a kid because I couldn't relate to it. It wasn't believable to me. Now it's like, oh, it was believable. You just couldn't see it because that wasn't in your realm of your world.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. All righty then. Well, that's our show for today, and all about Good Girls. If you do not have regular TV, it is on Netflix. If you don't have Netflix, ask your friend for the password and use theirs.
Mhm.
Look, which is why everybody gonna be paying $35.99 for Netflix. And when it gets to that point, let me tell you something. I think what these companies do is they test you out. They raise it to $3 and they say, okay, they still with me. Then they raise it another $5 and it's like, wait a minute, they
It's
still
just
here.
like apartments. Like your lease when you renew it, yeah, go up about $20, but you think by the time you've been there 3 years.
Yep. Remember when we looked at those apartments, when you were looking at apartments, and we looked at the ones across the street from the movie theater on Yorktown?
Mhm.
And remember what the lady told you, and she was very transparent. She said, the apartment was 800 and something. This is a long time ago now. The apartment was 800 and something. She said, but in a year, if we get to our full capacity here, we do then command what the market rate is. And I was like, well, what does that mean? She said, well, the market rate for this apartment is like $1,400. But because we're not at full capacity, we're trying to fill it up.
That's what they at right now.
Once we get people to move in, then we know nobody really likes to move. So then we can go up at, I think she said as high as 60 something dollars on the apartment when your lease needs to be renewed. That's why, they used to do 2 and 3 year leases. Now they don't let you do more than like 14 months. They really want to be able to raise your rent within 14 months. And that to me is the distrust that I have in apartment complexes. That's my big distrust, is that I think about a 25-year-old or something that goes to get an apartment, and they have the same job this year that they're going to have next year typically, and they move in for $1,000. And then next year my rent is going to be 1,100. I didn't move and I didn't get a raise on my job. So how are you going to raise my apartment price? So now I got to go look for a whole nother apartment. I got to find somebody to help me move. I'm on the 3rd floor, so nobody wants to help me. It brings too many issues when I think they should have 2 and 3 year leases. Because I was telling you, my photographer, I was telling you, I'm not gonna say her name, but you know who I'm talking about. I was telling you that what she does is she looks for luxury apartments, and she gets in when they're desperate to look for people for the low price. So like she'll go to Craigslist and she'll find an apartment high rise, and the apartment high rise will be $4,000, $5,000 a month, right?
Yeah.
She'll get in when she know they're not at capacity for like $1,300 a month. on a $4,000 some dollar. Then she'll sign a 2-year lease. After her 2-year lease, about 6 months before that, she starts finding another location because she'll go and ask them, hey, are y'all raising the rent? And they're like, yeah, we're gonna get the market rate for it. Now it's $3,500, $4,000. So she's not gonna do that. So then she'll get on Craigslist and she'll find another luxury apartment that maybe just opened up and they trying to fill the capacity. So she say she move every 3 years. Now that I couldn't do because she's married, she has a husband, they have a life, and it's like, if we're gonna move every 3 years, we might as well just leave some stuff packed up. So
Yeah.
she's comfortable with moving every 3 years, but I ain't never seen nobody find deals like her. And I'm talking about high-rise apartments, luxury, with all of the amenities that you could ever ask for, with celebrities that live there and stuff. So it's pretty guarded and everything. But every time I've ever seen her apartments, they very luxury, very nice. And she'll say, yeah, I found these on Craigslist and they brand new, put them up. They was trying to get people in them. So we moved in. I'm like, wow, very nice. But I don't know if I can move every 3 years. I mean, I guess I could if I didn't have no kids and we didn't have a lot of stuff, like we lived a minimalism life, then yeah. But if I had couch and tables and chairs and stuff and pets and that's a lot. That's a lot. Because that means we're gonna live there for 2 years for with freedom. But then that last year, I need to start looking for us another place and start packing up too. You could move every 3 years?
Probably every 3 to 5. Because I
Well, then
mean, when I was at my last one, I was there for 3 only because I didn't want to keep moving. But I say about 3 to 5.
Well, then that system that she uses would work really well for you when you're ready
Oh
for
yeah,
it. Because,
I've already done that before.
yeah,
That's how I
because
found
I'm
a
just like, I think it's pretty clever if you ask me. It seems like a good thing, but for me, I like more stability. So I want to be where I'm gonna be. And moving every 3 years is like, whoa. And she always get an apartment that have like an elevator in it. So her moving, makes it easy, even if she's on the 4th floor, makes it easy because it's like, well, we got the big elevator, the freight elevator. So to move everything in, it's not so bad. But the apartments are high rise, whatever they call them, they really be really nice though. So alrighty then, that's our show for today on Good Girls. Make sure you check it out. It is really, really good. I don't know if you know these characters, but if you do already and they've been in shows that you've already liked, you're gonna like this one too.
Yes, and before we let you go, please make sure that you're turning your notifications on to stay up to date with our showcase Saturday shows and our series that we're doing. Keep liking, keep subscribing, and keep commenting. I see almost every day we have comments. So we try to get back to y'all as soon as we can, but keep doing what you're doing and keep helping us grow.
Absolutely. And that's our show for today. So until next time, bye for now.
Bye.